Welcome! I'm John McKinney, multi-engine instructor. In this video, you'll learn flight principles and maneuvering for landing if you experience an engine failure in a light twin Piper Seminole aircraft. Today, we'll be flying one of our simulators at the Aviation Technology Center in Indianapolis. A light twin aircraft that weighs less than 6,000 pounds is not required to have positive single-engine climb performance. Some situations show negative performance. With only one engine, the plane might be drifting down or sinking. Even though a light twin with one engine inoperative only loses 50% of its thrust, aerodynamics will show a loss of lift to be around 80%. Aircraft control, it's a function of airspeed. The red line, or minimum airspeed to maintain control, is 56 knots, VMC. VMC is a loss of directional control on one engine. This is similar to the idea of an aggressive, uncoordinated spin. A VMC roll can be unrecoverable and deadly. Even though the official test pilot placed a red line on the airspeed indicator, there are several variables that can change the exact speed at which the plane would lose control. Pilots should generally avoid allowing airspeed to slow down to anything near the red line. The basic fundamentals involved in a VMC recovery would be reduced power and reduced angle of attack. Avoid VMC risk by targeting airspeeds of blue line or better. Blue line is the best rate of climb single engine, VYSE. In this airplane, that's 88 knots. Blue line provides adequate control pressure authority against the yaw and roll while generally creating the best performance on one engine. Speeds faster than blue line can give you extra control. However, this extra control can come at the cost of single engine performance. Twin pilots with an engine failure should almost always target an airspeed of blue line or better. We need to bank slightly to raise the dead engine. Establish zero side slip by raising the dead and splitting the brick. The plane naturally tries to yaw and roll into the dead engine. We need to maintain aircraft control and stop the dead engine turning. Watch your heading and airspeed. To hold your heading during an engine failure, apply foot and hand pressures against the turning forces. Rudder and aileron will be applied towards the operative engine. The rudder is the primary control surface for fighting dead engine yaw and roll. However, there is a physical stop. The rudder can only travel a limited distance. The pilot cannot push the foot pedal any lower than the floor. By banking the aircraft, vertical lift is transferred horizontally. Banking towards the good engine fights yaw and roll by redirecting lift. Banking away from the dead engine frees up the rudder to be effective down to lower airspeeds. Zero side slip. It decreases drag by aligning the plane's longitudinal axis forward into the relative wind. Aerodynamic performance improves with better airflow from nose to tail. We will eventually want to maneuver for a landing. If possible, plan for turns into the operative good engine. Turning away from the dead is less risky and improves performance. Turning into the dead engine will create extra yaw and roll. If dead engine turns are necessary, plan ahead for wider turns with shallow bankings. When turning into the dead, keep these tips in mind. Carry extra airspeed and altitude. Avoid getting slow and low. Avoid extra unnecessary turning maneuvers as they can come at the cost of sacrificed lift. If you are low and slow, struggling to maintain altitude, or singing, you should probably minimize any unnecessary turns and limp forward to the next suitable landing location. This could be an airport or an obstacle-free open flat area. Drag elements of landing gear and flaps will hurt your single-engine climb performance. If performance is poor, consider a no-flap landing and delaying gear extension until the landing is assured. Try to fly your emergency scenario as normal as possible. Plan ahead for a long, stabilized final approach and landing. Set everything up correctly on the first attempt. Once the plane gets slow and low, pointed towards an acceptable landing location, the least risky option might be to commit to the emergency forced landing, regardless of your ability to place the wheels exactly on the desired touchdown point. Be sure to look out for other videos to learn more procedures for safe flying.